ready to go and get started. Before we get started, we have an opening prayer, and after that, we'll talk about ways to speak to deaf kids. Let's pray. Father in heaven, we thank you for this beautiful day. We thank you for the people who arrived here to the workshop today. And Father, right now we continue to pray for some people who are not here today, because some are still on the way, or some are staying home because of sickness or affliction of work. We understand that. Father, I want to continue to give praises to your Son, Jesus. What an awesome Son he is himself. He paid a great price for us. And right now, we wanted to say thank you. Father, be with us today while we go through this lesson to teach our kids, whether it's deaf, hard of hearing, deaf, blind, or hearing, doesn't matter. We can still teach them the basic ways to talk and communicate. Father, forgive us for whatever we have done wrong. For your Son, in Jesus' name, we pray. Amen. Okay. Some of you here are new, and I'm happy that you're here at class. Many people always ask me if they want to know more about sign language, and that's fine. Sign language is really, really easy. It's just as a Spanish, French. There's many different ways. But the most question I've always been asked is, how do you communicate with a deaf child? Communicating with a deaf child is hard. Sometimes you have to teach them and teach them and teach them. But there's many history that we're going to be learning from this lesson. Let's get started. What causes deafness or hearing loss in a newborn? About 1 in every 1,000 infants is born deaf. Another 1 in every 1,000 infants has a hearing problem significant enough to make the speaking difficult. More than half of all deafness or hearing impairment is believed to have genetic causes. So, for example, if you have a family member that became deaf at an old age, that's what probably caused it, or from sickness. Genetic hearing loss accounts for the largest portion of deafness or hearing impairment. About 90% of the babies who are born deaf are born hearing impaired. And that's true. Many people always ask me, how was I lost my hearing? Lost my hearing since I was sick, and they found out that I had 2 bones missing and a damaged nerve. That caused my hearing to be lost. So I have to go through oral school, and then later we'll get more about that. And it's very interesting, a different kind of school of what parents put their kids in. Some hereditary forms of deafness or hearing impairment are associated with other identical physical impairments. For example, Usher syndrome may have included the deafness or vision problem. The deaf and blind has that. We have a few of our members at church that are deaf and blind. And they can see, but sometimes it's hard to see, so they have to get closer and closer. And a few other ones, Warrensburg syndrome includes deafness or the color that changes in the hair or the eyes. So if you see like a white hair with brown, that causes that. And you never know if the person may be deaf or hearing. It depends on what the genetic history is. Now, there are many different ways. One of the top one, oral and auditory approaches. American Sign Language, or ASL, or both can be combined. And the last one, how can I get involved in doing American Sign Language? So, the first one, I've been through this test and it's not fun for me. Oral auditory approaches. I remember when I was a little boy, the mom had put me in front of the TV, and she was concerned about my health. She told my grandmother to get a large pot and start making noises with it. I could not hear anything. So it made my mom concerned. She put me into the audiologist. I was fully deaf without hearing aids. Then she was scared. So the approach was what? Taking advantage of home hearing and ability to lip read in a way. Most of the percentage of the deaf tends to sign better than lip read. But if a person have asked, I'm just a new person, don't know sign, no problem. They can write back or lip read. And I'm letting you know, the deaf are very, very patient when you finger spell or write. So I've seen many people just write back or lip read, and it doesn't matter. They stress enhancing of speaking and listening skill while using technology, including cochlear implant, when it's appropriate to the hearing loss, hearing aids, tactical aids, cue speech, and assistive thing. And I wish I brought my alarm and to show if someone's at the door or someone's at the doorbell, my light will flash. Or if I'm asleep, I cannot hear the alarm. I have a vibrating machine that wakes me up and assistive things. Hearing aids is another thing. My hearing aid is the most powerful one because I've lost more hearing now. And they said that I'm able to have a chance of cochlear implant. But the biggest negative point, the cost. And if something happened with your cochlear implant, you have to go back and do another surgery. There's rarely a few deaths that happen. So many of the deaf say, no, I don't want it. Most of the deaf, they don't like the sound, they just throw it on the floor, they don't care. The goal of this approach is to promote skill in oral and auditory spoken English. That's what I went through. My mom put me in a school where you cannot sign. If you sign one word, teacher will can't. Later, when I grew up, my best friend, both go outside and play, she teach me little by little. Then later I went to a Christian camp, and I've learned a lot from there for 18 years. And I've been improving a lot better. As you can see, it's audiologist testing and using hearing device. So most of us have been going through audiology. You know, when you hear the beep, you have to raise your hand or say yes, no, loud, soft. Right, you have to say airplane, ice cream, restroom. Yeah, you have to go through that. And sometimes it's hard. And it's tiring. Now for newborns like this baby, just recently said don't have a good hearing, so they put them on hearing aid. But the parents are concerned how they can prevent from the hearing aid falling off. They have a special thing for the kids. And I've used it when I was a little boy. I used to have to use a headband and leave it alone. If I touch my mom, later I got used to it. So I can use my hearing aids and it feels like nothing's there. Now, another way that you can talk to a little child is American Sign Language, or ASL. Some deaf children, particularly those who are born to deaf parents, use this American Sign Language, ASL, as their first language. Most of the time, people would watch a video on YouTube and they would teach their children on how to say eat, milk, mama, daddy. They would teach them. And now, the technology today has improved a lot. The most first word would be eat or milk. The parents would encourage their child to say something without saying a word. They would say mama, mama. And when they see that child say mama, they're excited. or if they're hungry, they say milk. So you got to teach the children while they're at the young age. Then later, about 3 or 4 years old, they'll improve their skill better. I've met a young boy, and I'm just still amazed, went to Central America. This young boy is a PODA, or Children of Deaf Adult. Both of his parents are deaf. And his mama said, you don't have to talk to him, just sign. I said, how old is he? He's 2 years old. Fine. I said, hello. Wow. He talks good. I said, where's mama? In the bathroom. Well, mama's studying the Bible. It's interesting how the child can learn from their parent. They can see things, but really we have to be careful of what we say to each other. Because if a kid looks up saying, Mama said bad word, I said bad word. You have to be careful. It's the same way with the hearing parent. Just the same thing with the hearing parent. The origin of the deafness in a child born to a deaf parent may not be really easily identified. So, if a child is deaf and is born with a deaf parent, they may not be easily recognized. They're hearing or deaf. They have to take them to the audiologist, give them a test. About a year later, they will do again the test again to see if they're fully deaf or not. Most parents that are deaf have hearing children. And that's a good thing. Why? Because they support the deaf community. And I know many, many people out there who work, such as the policemen, firemen, EMS, they're all hearing, but they have a deaf parent. And what was funny is that I remember sitting down with an officer eating McDonald's. I decided to sit down with him, and he saw my hearing aid, and he said, "Are you deaf?" I said, "No, I'm hard of hearing." This is interesting. My family's deaf, and we started signing. Later, his boss approached him and said, "I didn't know you signed." I said, "Yeah, I thought you knew my parents were already deaf." It was a shock. That you never know who you're going to meet, whether it's a police officer sign. That's awesome. So, and I have a story to share that later after this class, and I'm really sure you're going to get it later. The basic alphabet and numbers, and of course, some of you know, some of you don't, that's fine. But we do encourage for all people that are here today out of the workshop to watch how the interpreters interpret the service. Most people out there would watch either myself or 2 other women or 2 other men who interpret. They get interested and get involved and want to learn more. Now, combined approaches. Some deaf children who use only oral communication will also use to learn sign language using ASL, sign English, cue speech, or fingerspell. Some children who uses American Sign Language as the first language will learn to speak, and that's true. Most parents will send them to school where they have a deaf school. In OSD, they have both oral and sign. Now, some schools are mainstream where they will have an interpreter and they will have a deaf class. So if they're mainstream, then that's the same way as what this says. Children who use ASL as first language should learn to read and write in English. It's really challenging, and it's true. Because of today's world, some of the deaf speak broken English. So you would have to learn and you would have to sign of what they're trying to say. So we have a few of our members that are mentally challenged, and it's hard for us to teach them. And it's also hard for me to see their writing because they're broken down, so I decided myself, then I understand what they're trying to say. So we're not the only people here But there's many people out there who can write and read, but some can't. You will really need to consider a different variety of ways to ensure that your child learns to read and write. So you have to practice with them. Be patient with them. Don't stress them. Don't pressure them. Just encourage them to try their best. If you really need help, ask the teacher. Or ask a friend to come over to your home and help your child. Now, this is my school in Chickasha, Oklahoma. I was raised there. That school, Jamesburg School for the Deaf. This is my oral teacher, Ms. Reisner. And all of us students are all deaf except for 3 of us. All my friends are hard of hearing, but full deaf is who? Dana. Now, sometimes during the summertime, we all meet in Oklahoma City, fellowship and enjoy our time there. And really, it's fun. But what's sad is that there was not enough students to be at the school. So, OSD, before that happened, they said they had a problem with the building itself. There was leaves, there was old mold, dew, everything in that building. They decided to tear it down. And that is where it used to be, but now it's a Catholic church. So there's a Catholic church right nearby the school. But every time when I go into that school, I get excited. Why? Because I'm ready to learn. And then sometimes there's many of the fun things that we learn about how we teach our friends and family the sign and world. But one of my favorite memories there is that my mom said she had to stay at a hospital for 1 week. And the school says it's fine, we have a dorm. Many of the students go to the dorm after school and they enjoy the fun. One night, I think it was Thursday night, we decided to have a competition. And we decided where can we ride our bikes, called the Go Rider bikes. It's an old, cheap toy, but we decided to go ahead and do the afternoon, on Friday afternoon. Because right now it's raining, and we said, no, to go inside the building, there was not enough room. We decided to postpone Friday afternoon because it was a beautiful day. Later, while we were raising our toys, it started to rain. And our teacher waved at us and said, it's time to go in, it's raining right now. I asked the teacher, I said, how many minutes do we have left? She said, 15 minutes. I said, why don't we use our bike to go around in the basement? This sounds like a good idea. In the basement, we have a gym, we have a playroom, and a dance area. All the doors are open. This was at 2:30, and our parents picked us up at 3 o'clock. 2:45, right on time. We get in there, and we're riding fast as we can. And parents are coming in, and they're hearing sounds like a racetrack. Parents are asking the person, what is that noise? The kids are downstairs playing. They come downstairs, and it says, warning, watch for cars. Parents see the then we stop, and we laugh and have a good time. But our sad memory was this, when it poured down. We had to move over the dorm until 99. OSD had asked Chamber School to see if they could take over because there was not enough students. So one of our teachers, Miss Caroline, she took the plate of taking Chamber School to move into OSD. So now OSD takes control of Chamber School. And it still runs there from this day. Now, the last thing is, how can you get involved of doing American Sign Language? You can find classes online, or come to our sign language class that's every Wednesday night from 6 to 6:45, and it's located at our Deaf Ministry Center. We'll have signing time. If you want to do more signing, you can learn yourself online And you can also visit our deaf service at Park Blossom Church of Christ. And we really encourage you to go and see our deaf members, because we don't kick out people we don't know who. We invite everyone to come in, whether you're deaf, blind, hearing, hard of hearing, black, white, doesn't matter. We encourage many of our members from the church and the visitors out in the world to come and learn to fly with us. And this is our Park Blossom Church of Christ Deaf Ministry in Tulsa, Oklahoma. As you see, that's a big group. A little dark, the only picture I can find. It's a big group, and we really enjoy having people come in and fun and fellowship, and sometimes make old friends and new friends. You never know. This is our 5 ministers here. We always encourage every of our members to come to the workshop. And I know some deaf tend to call the church saying, I want to come at night. So we encourage them to come during the daytime so they won't miss an opportunity to experience different workshops and classes here. Well, this concludes our lesson for today. And I hope that tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, you'll really enjoy why are we using that camera right there? And how can we share the video to spread God's word through the deaf community? So if you're interested in learning more about that, you can come at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning and you'll learn more about what I do for YouTube with our camera. Thank you for coming to our class, and I hope you enjoyed this lesson. And if you have any questions now, perfect time to ask. Work with the mission of the deaf. Cormore and I are planning to go to Kenya, Africa. We're planning to go this summer. And we will be working with a deaf missionary there in Africa. And I've worked with the deaf ministry and mission trip in Central America for almost 5 years when I lived in Alabama. So I've worked there and I've been on different mission trips, so it's a lot of fun. What is my most experience with deaf children? My most experience with the deaf children is really not complicated. Because once you teach them sign, they're easy to pick up. And right now, I'm hoping that later I will have a chance to go to the school where they help the deaf kid at Wright Elementary School, or Wright, because that school has many of the deaf kids there, and one of them is our member. The mom's wanting to learn more sign, so she comes and comes and comes. And what's funny is that they call their church where they used to go, was a Catholic church. But now when they transferred to Park Blossom Church of Christ, she always asks, do you want to go to old church or new church? They always say, new church, new church. Why? Because the young boy himself loved to be around with the kids who ask him questions about his cochlear implant. He himself loves to answer quick, loves it. Now, that story I was going to tell you, one night, there was a man himself, and he himself was deaf. And he was driving from a workshop. And he was driving on the way back home, about 300 miles all the way. Later, he noticed a man holding a sign, needing to ride to a town. And he asked the man, come on in. And he said, I'm deaf, I can't hear you. He said, okay, that's fine, no problem. He said, if you want to play with the radio, you can, it's fine. Well, he's driving, but he overlooked the speed limit. Later saw the police, and the police pulled him over, said, wait, hi, I'm deaf, I can't hear you. The police says, okay, slow down, you're going too fast. Okay, thank you. So later, the police left, and he went on again. Same thing happened. He went over the speed limit. The second time, the police officer, another one, came. The man said, "He's crazy. He's going too fast." Go on. Calm down. I'm deaf. I can't hear you. Slow down. You're going too fast, okay? No ticket for you. Okay, thank you. The hearing man says, "You look tired. Did you want me to switch over?" "Sure, I trust you. Let me see your driver's license." "Okay, you're good." They switch over. The hearing man is now driving. But the deaf man is tired. And quickly he falls asleep. He looked, sees the police right there. He has an idea. He floored and he went over the speed limit again. The police saw it, and he came over, and later the police pulled him over. The man said, "How do you do?" "Okay. I'm deaf. I can't hear." The police said, "Okay, slow down, okay?" "Okay, thank you. Bye." So he thought, I've taken advantage. My nearest town's about 30 more miles. Fine. We speed up to at 95 miles per hour. Later, that police on a motorcycle saw him, pulled him over, said, "This is my perfect chance." They stepped there at the wheel, and of course the policeman rolled down the window, said, "I'm deaf, I can't hear you." The police officer said, "Really? You're deaf? My parents are deaf. I just signed for you." "Huh?" So be careful. But anyways, I want to thank you for coming to class, and I hope you enjoyed this lesson. And God bless you.